Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. On today's episode, we're going to begin phase 2 of the bathroom renovation. We're going to begin by framing our walls, framing out our shower, going over to electrical and plumbing, getting all of that done. I am not licensed, but I'm going to show you guys at home how to do some simple plumbing, simple electrical, simple framing, and finish this thing out and get it ready for the next trades, the painter, trim guy, and so forth. Come along with us as I show you guys at home how we do it. For the framing portion of the bathroom renovation, we popped all of our chalk lines indicating where our wall goes. So we have marked out where our bench goes, our wall for our shower, our wall for our closet, and the curb for the front of the shower. And then we're going to begin all of the framing as we speak. And to start off with, I'm going to mount all my pressure treated green plate to the ground. And then I'm going to jump up to the ceiling, do my top plate, and then fill in my studs with my layout as I go. The way I'm going to attach these bottom plates is I'm going to use an SDS rotary hammer. I have a 3/8 drill bit on it, and I'm going to drill through the pressure treated green plate into the concrete and attach our wedge anchors using this tool right here. Super simple, super easy. And no, you don't have to pre-drill. It does it really simple without even pre-drilling. Watch. That's one. Here are the anchors that we use. We use a wedge anchor. We've used Titan HDs, Tapcons. These are really the cheapest and most simplest, and you don't need to go overkill for interior walls. So these are just a 3/8 inch diameter wedge anchor that is 4 inches long. And the way it works is it goes down into the concrete, and as you tighten the nut, this part right here opens, which makes it fill in the hole tighter and allows you to suck the green plate down to the concrete. And to put them in, you put them in with your hammer. Just like that. For tightening the anchor bolts, all you need is a little impact driver. You could do it with a little crescent wrench, but impact driver makes it super simple. Get the correct size on top, and it's that simple. You just tighten it down. Make sure once it starts pressing into the wood that it is completely secure and tight, and that is how those go in, and then it won't go nowhere. My top plate goes on after my bottom plate. I'm gonna leave the sheetrock for the ceiling. I'm not gonna pull it off because I don't want all the insulation. It doesn't change anything as far as finish out. I just have to cut all the studs. Before I put my top plate on the ceiling, I'm going to add my layout. I just line it up next to my bottom plate, and I can mark both of them at the exact same time. And that will save me a lot of trouble. One there, and I don't have to do it above my head. It's a lot easier. Okay, so we know one stud goes there, one stud goes over there. We want a niche here in the middle. Got 38, so let's find 38, 15, 14. No, 15 plus 4, 19. 19 is our center mark. 30 inches each way. I think that's pretty good. 30-inch niche. 15, 30. Okay, cool. Okay, now I need to transfer it to my green plate. 7 3/8. 4 inches. All right, sweet. Now I'm adding my double top plate. Give David a measurement. Should be all the same.
92.
Yeah, 92. I need a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 and 92, right?
5 and 92. I'm gonna add some drywall backing right here before I put my stud in, because once I put my stud in front of it, I won't have a place to nail. This will be my backing for the little pantry, not pantry, the little closet. The stud can go right in front of it, get nailed on top of it, on top of our dead wood or drywall backing. Like that. Now over here I have a piece of wood for our drywall to get nailed to, and that will allow us to screw everything to it. If I wouldn't have put that in first, it would have been a huge trouble to put it behind there, but that's complete. Now I can put the rest of the studs. For the plate going into the shower, we always double it up to create a curb, but to put this plate on, I have to drill a little hole for the plate to cover up these bolts that stick up. I'm gonna take a 1-inch paddle bit and drill right in the center of this little mark. The way I got that mark is I put this plate on top, hammered it down with my hammer. It created a little indent in the wood, showing me where to drill the hole. And then once I drill the holes, I can put it on top and nail it back on. Like that, right there. Having the layout on the top plate makes it super easy where I don't have to mark anything. Up high, I did it on the ground. And now I can stay on the ground and not have to worry about getting up there to measure and put in the exact spot. It's already there, ready to go. I created a little L for the corner. I took one stud and nailed it onto another one, making it L shape. And that will allow me to put a stud in the corner, and it will take care of my drywall backing for the other wall. All in one go. Right here on this side of the wall, I'm not actually able to put my stud in. The water pipe is in the way. I have to cap it off. I could go ahead and put it in, but if I don't cap it off first, it'll be hard for me to solder a cap onto this copper line because that stud will be in the way. So I'm gonna wait on doing this last stud because I can solder on a cap this pipe, give me good enough space to work on that, and then after I cap it, then I can put my stud in. So I'm gonna leave that king stud, that cripple off, and then I'm gonna wait for doing the header and all that good stuff until I finish capping off those water lines and removing them. In the meantime, I can frame in the niche right here on this side of the wall. The niche is for all the soap and stuff to sit in. It's a little indent inside the wall. It allows to have a little bit of storage on the shower wall to put like shampoo and conditioner and all that kind of stuff. This is the bottom part of the niche, and now I'm going to add 2 cripples to the top and put the top part of the niche framed in. And then from there, I'm going to put my little sheetrock backer, or what we call deadwood, for the wall on the other side. My niche is all framed in. I'm going to add some drywall backing on the back of the stud. So for that other room behind there, I can have a spot to screw all of the drywall here and here. I'll take a 2x6 for that, 2x6 for this one down here, and that will take care of my deadwood for that room on this side. After that, I'm gonna do my little bench in the shower, frame it up. We're gonna go 18 inches to the height of the top of it, and then we're gonna do the full width of the shower, and then we're gonna come out a foot, which we already have our plate on for that, so we're good to go. Our curb is done. Once we get the bench finished, we can go through and add all of our blocking for our pan insert for the plumbers to make their life a little bit easier. I'm framing out for my shower valve at the moment. I had to take out this stud because it was right where the shower valve was going to go to be in the center. So I removed it, just chopped it on out of there, put in a block across to support it. And you may be wondering, why didn't I pull it out completely? I didn't want to mess with the drywall nails on the other side of the sheetrock because it's staying. I know it doesn't look symmetrical and looks super appealing to the eye, but once it's all covered up, no one's ever going to know. So that is it. That is a problem that I have in framing. I like everything to be symmetrical, even though it gets covered up. Our framing for the shower valves is all complete. We have our blocking for the shower valve, the main one. We have our handheld blocking over there, our actual head mount faucet as well for the blocking done up there. All of our 2x6 blocking around the bottom for our pan liners in so that the tile guys can have that. Our bench is complete. We went ahead and knocked that out real quick off camera. Our wall is done, and currently what I'm working on is cutting out these old shower lines that were buried in the wall back here in this little linen closet that used to be here. I just cut them, cut the copper lines. I'm gonna put a cap on the cold line, cap on the hot line, and I'm gonna solder that very quickly. And by no means means my plumber, but I can handle something like that. Then over here, I'm going to solder on a PEX adapter. I'm gonna go from 1/2" copper to PEX on that. I'm gonna solder that connection on, and then the rest of all of this plumbing will be PEX, which is a lot easier to install. So I like PEX, I enjoy it. It's way easier than copper, and that is what I'm going to tackle right now. First thing I want to do when it comes to soldering on these caps is I went ahead and deburred the inside of this. It's not really hugely necessary because, I mean, it's a cap. It's not like that we don't got to worry about that shavings getting into anything. But I went ahead and deburred it, sanded it down, cleaned it up, made sure everything's good. I need to rough up this side as well. I like to take the inside of the cap and just rough it up a little bit. It gives it a little bit of space for that flux. The little paste to go inside, it makes little grooves on the inside of there. And then that helps with soldering. And I'll take this on as well. Cool. Now we're ready for our paste. Throw it on around, all the way around the perimeter on both of them. Sweet. I'm gonna go ahead and get my flux ready, get a little length on it so you can get away from the heat. Turn into an L shape. When it heats up, it'll melt around. Got a little heat shield right here to protect the drywall. Nice. Got my little blowtorch to heat it up. It's open, let's test it. Cool. All right, now, oh, I forgot one thing. I'm gonna add a little bit of flux to the inside of this. Once I get this done, this will allow me to frame that wall. So if I had that stud right here, doing this would be a nightmare. I'll start with our left one. Or we can do the right one first, actually. Awesome. A little sandpaper right here. Clean it up. Like I said, I'm not the best at soldering. I'm sure there's guys out there that can do it way prettier, but this gets the job done. All right, we should be good. Those should be complete. So not bad. Now I can put my stud right here and keep on going. I'm gonna pull this old shower valve out. Let me get the saw. To me, it's a lot easier just to do this. With the old shower valve pulled out, I'm going to jump to this drain. I got to get that lower so that our flooring can go right over the top of it. I'm just going to cap it off and put it and bury it underneath. There's no need in trying to delete it all the way in jackhammer concrete. So I'm going to cut this little fitting off the top, lower it down, and put a cap on it. That's my little fix, my cap. Drop that on. Quarter turn on everything. And that is the fix. I'm gonna backfill around it, put all the dirt back. Nice. That's capped off. We'll do some self-leveling when the flooring guys come, and that will be 100% complete. Over to this part of the shower, I'm going to raise this pipe up higher, add a coupling to it, raise it up higher so that it can have a proper height of a drain. How they used to have it was like this, and it literally was just slid down in there, which is not how you're supposed to do it. So I'm gonna raise that up. That will allow the tile guys to be able to cut it to the exact height they want, and then we can put the proper collar on it that's for a floor drain and actually glue it into place and then do the finish grate on top. The original plumber that did it had shark bite connections right here on this little portion of the manifold, and I immediately pulled those off. I'm gonna go from copper right here to PEX on the top. I think PEX is way easier to use, so we're gonna go from copper to PEX. I'm gonna solder this little piece on, and I cut the pipes, or I really took the shark bite off, and now I deburred it on the inside, deburred the inside, deburred this inside, and then I took my little sandpaper or whatever you call this thing, sanded around the pipe, roughened it up a little bit, and then I'm going to go a little bit further and use this one. This one's a little bit more aggressive. Adds a little bit of grooves for the flux to go in. This gives little jagged edges on the pipe for the flux and the lead to go in from soldering. Call me Mr. Picasso. About to make this little thing look beautiful. Boom, 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 boom. There's a little bit of water in the line, but it should boil out. Once I heat it up, it should boil out, because with water being in the line, you're not going to be able to solder. Lastly, I want to add some flux to the inside of our little parts that we're fixing to solder on. Nothing too crazy. And we are ready to solder. Okay. My fitting is soldered on. I won't be able to test it until the water gets back on, but in order to test it, I got to put my 1/2-inch PEX. This is my hot side, so I got it going up the wall right here, and then I have a little temporary cap on the very top of it. I don't have our shower valve yet. It's supposed to come in today, so I'm just going to temporarily put a line in, and then later I can cut it and do whatever we need to do on that later. For down here, I'm actually short a fitting. I need a little T. I need a T fitting, so I need a fitting that goes up and then creates a T. So to make do for today's purposes, I'm just going to take 2 of the PEX lines, or 1 really PEX line, and use the 2 ends and join them up. Now we should be able to test our water supply. We're good?
Yes, sir.
Hey, we survived. No leakage, no leaks. Let's go. Here's where we're at with the plumbing. We have everything set up for our valve. We got our valve in from Amazon, so all I have to do is mount it to the wall, and then I have my little ports right here for the handle on the left side of our shower valve, and then for the head of the shower valve up there. I'm going to plumb all this in currently. I'm going to cut our water line, turn it off at the main water outlet outside. I'm going to turn the valve off, and then I can cut this and plumbing all in. And then we went ahead and did our exhaust as well with our PVC. This is our exhaust. It's not ideal the way we ran it, but this is kind of the best that we had to work with. I didn't have a drill bit long enough to drill through this stud and into this stud. As you can see, I attempted to do it. So we switched gears, went to the right, and went out this way. I had to leave this piece of blocking for our shower glass so they have a spot to mount it. So I had to go up around our electrical box right here and kind of do a slight bend and go into the attic and do an exhaust for that. Not the most ideal circumstances, but it works. And now we're going to do all of our plumbing. When getting ready to do the shower valve, I found the center of my opening on my shower. Actually, the full measurement of our shower is 38 inches wide. Half of that is 19 inches. That is the dead center of our shower, so that it feels most comfortable and looks most symmetrical. Now I'm going to take this shower valve and line it up with my mark that I just made. Put some screws in it. I'm going to take my little valve that I have right here, mount it to my block that I added. Leave it a little loose so that I can crimp my PEX onto it. This is what we're using for the actual drop ear elbow. It's a 3/4 or 1/2 inch thread right here where the shower head can mount into the wall, and then it goes down and ties into PEX right here using this connection point, and we'll turn it to 1/2 inch PEX, run it all the way down to our valve, and that is how we will plumb in the shower head up there. What we're going to do to get this valve ready is we're going to take these adapters that go from PEX to threaded insert, and we're going to thread them into our shower valve like so. And we're going to use some pipe thread, and we're going to use some pipe sealant, and we're going to thread that in with a crescent wrench, get that nice and tight, and that will allow us to go from a threaded insert to a PEX little male adapter, and we can do our PEX pipe on top of that and crimp it on, and way easier. We don't have to do any soldering or anything like that. So David's going to get this set up. I'm going to work on drilling the holes for all of the 1/2 inch PEX, and we're going to get this thing installed real quickly. Everything is plumbed in now. I can go through with my crimp tool using my SharkBite crimp tools. This is probably not the most fanciest one, but this is the one we have. We have all of our lines ran. We have our manifold tied in right here. We have all of our fittings on there. We roughly fit it in. Before I crimp anything, I make sure that it fits all properly, and then I go back at the very end and do all my crimps, and I try to make sure not to forget one. We also did something really cool. This is a really good pro tip. So with this PEX is you want to try to use as minimal 90s as possible to, one, not affect the flow of the water, the pressure, and number two is it's a lot less likely to leak if you have one less fitting. So just for example, this one fitting has 2 points of being able to leak. If you do away with 190, so instead of doing a 90-degree bend out of a SharkBite, let me show you. Instead of using this little 90-degree, we just did a little swoop, and that allows it to not have any points of leaking. So if we use this, now don't get me wrong, they're made not to leak, but it's less likely, less of a chance. So this has 2 points to be able to leak, one on this side and one on this side from the crimp, and if you mess up the crimp or anything like that, or over time. So doing away with it and doing a sweep like this right here with the PEX, since it's able to be bent, is a lot less prone to leakage, and it's a lot easier on install too, to be honest with you. So that's why we like the PEX, that's why we use it, and now I just gotta go through and crimp all the crimps, and we're good to go. All of our plumbing is complete. We extended our drain up higher. This is the height that the tile guy wanted, so we went ahead and put this on as well. Our drain, or the rough end for the drain, I should say. All of our water pipes are complete. Our crimps are crimped. We have our cold line coming in, our red for hot line, our handheld water line right here, and our overhead shower head right here. Everything is plumbed up and it is all complete, and now we're gonna put a little bit of drywall on for the tile guys. I'm putting a couple pieces of drywall in so the tile guys can put a piece of hardy inside that niche. This will allow them to adhere it to the back of the drywall since it's an inset niche on the other side inside the shower. So I'm going around and putting all this on. And then after I get this done, I can have that pressure off of me. They can work really good and start doing all of the waterproofing membrane for the shower. And I can also finish this little closet that I'm in right now. I'm going to finish framing it now that my water lines, as you can see earlier in the video, how we capped them. Now I can put my stud, my king stud, my jack, my little header, and then I can drywall this entire thing, and I can get out of here and allow the tile guys to finish and allow the texture guy to come in and texture everything. So I'm gonna continue putting this drywall in, enjoy a nice little time lapse as I finish the framing on this and the drywall. We got our framing done, we got our plumbing done, we got all of our drywall hung in the little closet, so that's ready to be tape and bed and mudded. We're gonna let the guys work on doing all the waterproofing membrane, let them do the tile. We're gonna come back tomorrow and we're gonna work on redoing our electrical on this wall right here. We're gonna move this plug to the center. We're gonna add one more for a LED mirror. We're gonna add another one over here for LED mirror, and then do 2 sconces on the top. And reconfigure a little bit of the can lights. The can lights are all over the place right now. There's no symmetricalness to them at all. So we're gonna redo everything in here as far as electrical when it comes to the plugs, LED lights, and get this thing wrapped up. But in the meantime, we're gonna let them work, get out of their way, and we'll be back the next day. We ended up coming back the next day to take care of all the electrical. We installed our 2-gang box right here, or double gang box right here. The original plug was over here on the wall, but it is completely patched and gone. So we moved it to the middle, made it more uniform. Now they're gonna have a 72-inch vanity. This allows them to have all their stuff in the center of the vanity on the flat spot, which you'll see in the next video. We also added 2 plugs right here. We tied into the switch and pulled power from there. And we added 2 plugs for the LED mirrors, which is going to be in this box right here, what we're going to put next in phase 3 of the next video. We also went ahead and added 2 overhead lights, or sconces, or little mirror lights, I don't know exactly what you call them, to the top above that. We reconfigured all of the LED lights in the ceiling. The previous guy had it all messed up. They had 8 lights in this room, but we went ahead and switched it up to 4 and made them all uniform in line. And we added one in the center of the shower, made it more uniform and symmetrical and a lot more better for all you OCD people. We also went ahead and the bathroom, swapped out the light in there, went ahead and changed it to a can light or a puck light instead of it having an actual light fixture. Made it a lot more vibrant and more consistent. In the closet as well, we replaced all of the lighting in here because it had 6 can lights that were 4 inches, but we swapped them out to 6 inches LED lights, or LED puck lights, and made that more uniform and fixed all of the wiring issues that the previous guy did, because it was no good. There's a lot of fire hazards that the previous guy had. So that is a wrap for all of the electrical. We went ahead and took care of it, put it in a little time lapse, so enjoy that. But we are done with this part of the project as phase 2. Come back for phase 3 in the next episode. And don't forget, we're gonna be doing a giveaway for the 200 subscribers in our account once we hit that mark. So click down below, subscribe. Until the next video, keep on building.